So I thought I would just do a quick walkthrough on how to master some of the crochet basics. Obviously a lot of us are kind of in isolation at the moment, maybe trying to pick up new skills. So this is really kind of lesson 1, how to start your projects, and I'll take you through a few different techniques. So before we get started, it's important to know for kind of any crochet project that you will need a pair of scissors. Ideally you only use these for yarn, that keeps the blades nice and sharp for you. You'll need a darning needle, which is just a needle with a big eye, such as this one. You'll obviously need some yarn, so I'm just using a Carnival here, just kind of like a basic everyday yarn. It requires a 4mm hook, so that's what I've got here. Now if you are just starting off, a 4mm is quite a nice size to begin with. It's not too big, not too small, and just kind of lets you get to grips with things. So the first thing I'll be showing you is how to create a slip knot. Now most crochet patterns will either start with a slip knot or a magic circle. So I will show you both of those today, but we're going to start with the slip knot. So the first thing you want to do is grab the end of your yarn, as such. So you keep a bit of a longer tail there. It's really important to do that so that once you finish your project, you can weave your end in easily. So to make the slip knot, you take your loose end and wrap it over like so to create the loop. You then take that end through the loop again to create this kind of smaller loop here. And then you can just pop that on your hook and pull it tight. So as you can see, the yarn is now secured on the hook, and you just pull that end there to make it tighter. So just to go through that again, take your loose end and create a loop. Take the end through that loop you've created and pull through and pull it tight. So that is very simply how to create a slip knot, and then you'd be ready to start your project from here. The next technique that I want to show you is a magic circle. So again, we start with our loose end of the yarn, wrap it around your finger to create a cross like so. You don't want to do it too tight because you do still need to get your hook underneath there. So you want to go under the first loop and pick up that second loop. And if you take your finger out, you can see you now have a circle to start with. So now that you've mastered how to get your yarn onto your hook, whether that be through a magic circle or through a slip knot, I'm starting off with a slip knot here. What you want to do is just wrap your yarn I normally hold it quite loose around my index finger there, and as you can see, just kind of going through. The reason why I need to hold it loose is because you need to be able to get that yarn through with it being able to move through your finger easily. If you're kind of gripping onto it tight, you'll find yourself in quite a lot of trouble when you're trying to kind of work through your project. So what I'll show you now is how to do a chain. Now for most patterns, kind of like duvets or scarves or pillowcases, baby blankets, whatever it is you might be working on, there normally will be a chain, which is kind of the base for your pattern. So in order to complete a chain, you have your hook on the yarn already, and you just go behind and pull it through that loop that you've got there. So you can see that's the first chain that we've just created. So again, just kind of secure your work with your thumb and your middle finger there and pull through. So you really are just grabbing that hook, wrapping it behind that yarn and pulling it through the loop that you've got on your hook there. I'll just do a few more so I can show you what it looks like. The important thing here is to not twist your work. So as you go, you don't want to be kind of twisting around. You want to keep this side up. And you'll know if you've got the right side up when you do come to work into this in the future, because you can see that there are little V's that are being created every time that we do complete a chain. So when you are working into a chain, that's what you're looking for. Just move that up for you. So that's a V, that's a V, and you can see as they go along. The last thing I'll show you in this video today is just how to do a slip knot. So this is normally used to join work, or it could sometimes be used for edging and kind of so on. So what I will do is just go into the first chain that we've created here. So I'll actually join this work to make a circle, just so I can show you how the slip knot works. So again, you take your hook, drop it down into the chain. So I'm going into that V of the first chain. So now I've got 2 loops on my hook. I'm going to yarn over and pull the yarn through the first loop and then pull it through the second loop. And there you can see I've joined my work, and that is a slip knot. So just to show you again, down into the stitch that you want to join, 2 loops on your hook, pull through and pull through. And that's how to create a slip knot.